Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the AG5 from 361 degrees. So retail price should be $130 on their US side. This is the fifth signature shoe of Aaron Gordon. Before Jokic, he's been the face of the brand. So they usually put their best stuff onto the AG series. The Joker 1 is coming up very soon, by the way. A few months ago, they had an awkward price increase for the previous version, the AG4. And also their DVD 2, they both used to be $100 even, which is crazy good value at that price point. Later, they bumped it to 125 USD, and the AG5 is now 130. For those in the United States, I just want to say, in the next month or so, with the help of holiday discounts, this is the best time for you to buy from these Chinese brands before prices go up even more, potentially. Anyways, a couple of things first. Some of the newer colorways, including this one that I have, this one's called King of the Jungle, I believe. You can see the tiger prints. There are these Velcro straps on the upper. Some colorways have it, some don't. Those are the straps cost $10 more. They're $140. But in terms of the cushioning setup, also treads, those are all the same. So it's essentially just an additional feature. We'll get into its functionality soon. The AG4 last year was so close to making it to my top 10 with the traction and bounce. How does the AG5 do? Let's get right into it. As to how the AG5 performs on the court, cushion was very impressive. First of all, I gotta warn you that this isn't the low to the ground type. No, the midsole stacks up high off the ground. It gives you a pretty elevated feeling. It's lock and loaded though, with their Energy X that we're familiar with from the DVD and Big 3 series. CQT Extreme with the 3 in the name. They for sure came up with that just so you don't understand what it means. That's like a cushion pod in the heel from their product images. Translating the setup to how it feels on feet, they're really responsive. You get a good bounce back in the heel. Quite a springy effect thanks to their sole system, mainly the carbon fiber plate. So previously the AG4 was a bouncy shoe. The 5 retained that bounciness, and it's got excellent impact protection too. The foam absorbs impact well. Weight is about average, maybe a little bit on the heavier side in today's standard. 445 grams for US size 10.5. Lighter than the LeBron 22, heavier than the KD 17, right in between those two, if that helps. On feet, they do not feel like a heavy shoe or anything. You can move around at a good pace for sure. Nothing to worry about there. Traction, so in this aspect, this model's got big shoes to fill because the AG4 traction was basically best of last year based on my experience. Anywhere I go, I bring the AG4 as a backup in case a newer shoe sucks. AG5 here is a completely different traction pattern now. No problems against that. You can get to a hard stop consistently pretty much every time down the floor too, and it's pretty squeaky. It's just that if I had to compare and pick one, I would still say the AG4 traction is undefeated. This might be an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. I could give the previous version a full score, 10 out of 10. Based on how the rubber feels, it should be fine for outdoor use too. So far, besides the indoor courts, I've only used it briefly at a friend's backyard. I don't know if that counts as outdoors. I do have reasonable belief that this is outdoor friendly. In general, I had a pleasant experience with the traction. No incidents of slipping on dusty courts. With the fit, I always go true to size with shoes from this brand. Same here with the AG5, but true to size this time is quite snug in both the toe box and midfoot area. It breaks in over time, but unfortunately this shoe falls more on the narrower side as opposed to how it seems. Because from the bottom, that looks like a wide base in the forefoot and midfoot area, but the sidewalls are really firm and it almost squeezes inward. So just thought I'd point that out. Wide footers, those with very wide feet, be careful with sizing. You should probably either size up or just avoid this shoe. True to size is good if you prefer a snug fit, a very snug fit. Moving on to the material, when I think of 361 degrees and their material use, I think of the words cheap, plasticky, shit quality. That's been the case for a while, ever since their Kevin Love shoes back in the days, all the way to the start of this line. AG1 Pro, to give you an example. Here, unfortunately, no improvement has been made. When I'm transitioning from front to back, or just doing any type of twists and turns on my toes, I could hear a plastic sound. Like a low-pitched squeak, almost, every time. No pinching, but the upper does not conform to your movements very well, which is also why this shoe feels tight in general. On the bright side, these straps are placed perfectly, in the right places, and they do serve great functionality in helping with the lockdown. The upper strap, it's like a two-piece Velcro, layered on top of each other. You have to lift it to put the shoes on each time. Otherwise, your feet can get in, but once you're in, you're locked in. There's no heel slippage whatsoever. It's super secure. Breathability might differ depending on which colorway you get, but that shouldn't be an issue. One small complaint is that on the tongue here, there's a tiny part that extends out and kind of post ankle area when I'm moving around. It's not intense rubbing or discomfort, but I'd rather have a simple and short tongue that stays tucked in all the time, or a more padded one. I think it's only noticeable if you like to wear thinner ankle socks while you play. Aside from that, decent stability, great torsional support, and again, amazing lockdown. Design-wise, Jordan, why not all over it? Why not 0.2, 0.3? It looks like a mixture of a few Westbrook shoes from Jordan brand, especially now with the straps, even more like it. I wonder if that has anything to do with these two being teammates at Denver now. Probably not, but a nice coincidence. We have a huge fan of the Why Not line in our household. My wife owns 3 pairs actually, and she wears them casually. This silhouette technically has more of a throwback than a modern style. Am I tripping? Because this 100% looks like a Westbrook shoe if you didn't tell me which brand it was. I can't complain because low top, lightweight guard shoes are just flooding the market. This model, I can tell that it has forwards and bigs in mind during the design process. So in a sense, they maintain the identity of the AG line. And this colorway has a combination of different shades of brown, old school shape, but loaded up with modern performance features. So that's nice. Overall, I give the AG5 an A+. Not an A or A- or borderline A tier, but a good A+ as the score. Cushion is the highlight. It stacks up pretty high off the ground, but everything still feels very safe, including your landings, containment. In the simplest way to summarize it, high, not low. Traction isn't as insane as the AG4, but it's more than sufficient. Consistent hard stops. I do wish they made the shoe a little bit more of a spacious fit. Maybe a more forgiving material so that it's not as tight, but that's about it. Yeah, not much core feel, but it's not like the stability sucks or anything. So once again, another great product from 361 Degrees. For comparisons, let's jump straight to the point. This is their second best shoe from within the brand, behind the Big 3 5.0 Quick Pro, and better than the rest of them. Better than most of the basketball shoes this year from Nike, if you were to ask me. Compared to the KD17, it wins by lockdown. Versus the LeBrons, it has better mobility, better cushion and support than a lot of those typical low tops that are popular. Just a pretty unique shoe. I sort of took my time and waited for the newer editions with the strap at a fat discount. And it turned out pretty well. So I'd recommend that you do the same. More versions, more colorways, and more sales to come. As always, I'd love to know how you feel about the AG5. So drop down your thoughts in the comments, please. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one.